Hello and welcome. This time, Daniela Explores takes you to one of the most famous squares in Antwerp, Grote Markt. And on the way, I saw this statue. This bronze statue, just before the Grote Markt, honors Antwerp dock workers. The dock workers continued to work despite the constant threat of German bombardments. It was donated by an unnamed American general to the town. This is the City Hall, in Flemish Renaissance style. The building is lavishly decorated, and countless flags fly from the facade. They represent EU countries and countries that have a consulate in Antwerp. But the Grote Markt is best known for these beautiful guild houses. Guilds were associations of craftsmen or merchants. They were particularly powerful in the Middle Ages, but were abolished under French rule in 1796. The statues at the top of the buildings often depict the patron saint of the particular guild, but not always. This one has got an eagle, and it is called the Eagle. It was the guild house of the Joiners Guild, then the guild house of small retailers. The building was demolished in 1906 and rebuilt in the new Gothic style. This was the guild house of the Archers Guild. At the top of the building is a large statue of their patron saint, Saint George. The Brabo fountain dates from the end of the 19th century. It tells the story of Brabo defeating the giant Antigoon. The fountain depicts Brabo throwing the giant's hand in the river. A local legend tells that the giant Antigoon built a large castle along the river Scheldt. He exacted a toll from every passing ship, and if you didn't pay, Antigoon would cut off your hands and throw them into the river. One day the Roman soldier Servius Brabo sailed up to the giant's castle. Brabo refused to pay the toll and challenged Antigoon to a duel. Brabo defeated the giant, cut off his head and hand and threw the hand in the river. Another version tells that Brabo helped 7 local young men to kill the giant Antigoon, and these men were the ancestors of the most important Antwerp families. According to folklore, the story is the origin of the name Antwerpen, from Dutch hand werpen, to throw.
cross and find the bench overlooking the river to look at the boats.
Antigoon was not the only giant that plagued the city. A sculpture of the other giant is at the entrance of the Steen. More about the shapeshifter Lange Wapper in a minute. The Steen was built around the year 1200 at the site of an older 9th century fortress. It was named Steen as it was the first large building constructed in stone. Only a small part of the old fortress survives. Above the entrance gate is a small statue of Semini, a pagan god of youth and fertility, and according to local legend, he was the forefather of the people of Antwerp. But now a bit more about the Lange Wapper. One version of the legend tells that centuries ago, the woods around Antwerp crawled with demons, goblins, and all sorts of evil creatures. They became so troublesome that the people, armed with icons of the Holy Mary, bells, candles, and a priest, went in the woods and chased them all off into the sea. But the Lange Wapper hid himself. The people went back to the town, and quietly the Lange Wapper followed them. In the city, the Lange Wapper began to play tricks on people. He would grow his legs so long that he could reach the upper floor's windows and scare the people inside. Sometimes he would appear as a beautiful woman or a priest or a beggar, and when drunken people approached him, he would grow to the size of a house and frighten them to death. One story tells that once upon a time there was a woman who lived near Grote Markt. She had 4 suitors. One night the Lange Wapper took her shape and gave each suitor a different task. The first had to prove that he loved her by sitting on the big cross in the cemetery. The second had to lie in a coffin under the cross. The third had to knock on the coffin. The fourth had to walk around the cross with a long chain. The first suitor died of terror when the second one crawled into the coffin. The second died of fear when the third knocked on the coffin, and the third died when he heard the sound of the chain and thought the devil was coming to get him. The fourth suitor went crazy, jumped into the river and drowned. The people of Antwerp got really fed up with the Lange Wapper's cruel trickery and began placing statuettes of the Holy Mary everywhere. The Lange Wapper hated the Holy Mary and he fled the city and eventually fell in the Scheldt and drowned.
Okay, we prefer that one, we prefer that one. Let's go for that one.
And this is the Scheldt River. The ferry boat is part of the public transport network, and it was a nice way to have a rest and a look at the landscape. Next time, Daniela Expose goes diva in Antwerp. Hope to see you then. Thank you for watching. For more videos, please like and subscribe. It would be wonderful. I publish videos in English on Tuesdays, Italian on Wednesdays, and in Bulgarian on Thursdays. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.